August 2022. We went into the season as an organization where our sales went through the roof. We were up about 30, 40%. And to give you all perspective, imagine you have an organization where 1,500 people are coming to your organization every single day. And all of a sudden, overnight, 2,000 people show up and they're wanting Chick-fil-A sandwiches at the same experience. So that's what happened. August 2022, we had the closest restaurant to us closed down for a 3-month remodel. And all of that demand that restaurant had came flooding to us. We had extra staff, we had extra product, things were going well, and we had kind of projected for a 10 to 15% increase and ended up getting 30 to 40 and sometimes even 50% increase. And the team was burnt out. We got to September and even to October, and team members were leaving. They were frustrated, they were burnt out, they were feeling lack of care. It was a really hard time to work in the organization. And then came the first week in November. I remember it because October 31st was on a Monday this year. And I had about 102, 103 degree fever, so I was out on Monday and Tuesday. But that week, I almost referred to it as a trauma. I remember it because we were opening up every single day and we had lost a lot of team members. We were running short. And then I had 6 team members, all front of house, all during the day, all get the flu at the exact same time. So when you need anywhere from 12 to 18 people to operate a shift, we were already operating it with 8 or 9. We lost those 6, dropped us down to 2 or 3, and we struggled to open up the doors. We went through these few days of opening up with 1 person up front. And when you're trying to do everything from the drive-through to curbside to taking orders to the front counter, it was rough. So Thursday of that week, I get a call from a leader, and he just says, "We need to close down the restaurant." One of those texts as a leader in an organization that you never want to get. And we weren't delivering the experience that the guests wanted. And we went through this whole season of guests being frustrated. I saw some ruthlessness that came through on social media and our community, just frustrated with the experience that they had come to know and love. People were attacking me personally in terms of saying how they wanted to get me out of the organization and fire me as an owner. And I had other operators reaching out and telling me that I was damaging the brand. Chick-fil-A Inc. saying I was putting my operator agreement in jeopardy. I had team members frustrated with me that the experience is not what they had signed up for. It was a really hard time to be a leader. And I think the biggest thing that I realized during that time is that my leadership had to change. I had to be a better leader, a better business partner for the people around us. I had put too much value into, hey, I'm Michael Harding, the Chick-fil-A owner-operator, and had to learn that my value is way more important than the job that I own. And I had to go forth and show the community, other operators, my team, that I was a different leader. I went through a huge season of learning about myself, learning and getting broken down to almost the core of who I am, and figuring out, why am I placed on this earth? And why is this restaurant here? So it's taken us months and months and months to rebuild the organization, to rebuild trust, to rebuild team members. But we took this time and came up with our purpose for being here. And here at Chick-fil-A Cantrell Road, we eradicated what we always called consultant candy, stuff that looked good when people came to visit us, but really weren't beneficial in the long run. We threw all that to the side and said, why are we here? And we came up with this vision to be the world's most loving company, that every single person who enters onto our parking lot is feeling loved by the time that they leave. So we sat down as an executive team and marked out this pillar in the sand. And I was working long hours. I was on my knees praying more than I ever have before and leaning into the Lord as he was so patient with me to learn about this leadership that I needed to improve with. So I learned from the Lord and had some feedback from some team members that they wanted me to be more transparent with them, that they wanted some better conversations and for me to tell them that, hey, I know what you're going through and this is what I'm working on and how I can be more transparent with them. So we went through this timeline of learning those things, building trust back, and honestly, it was a very dark time that I went through. I cried more in that first week in November than I have in the past 10 years of my life. But what I want to say today is that when you have your priorities in the right place, when you have your eyes set on the mission that you are trying to accomplish, that's how you get out of adversity. There wasn't some perfect organization that came in and supplied 20 new team members that we were able to grow from. It was locking arms with the people that were standing with me, the people that were wanting to go through this situation with me and saying, how can we overcome this together? And that's what we did. I figured out that my purpose is to develop and encourage other individuals to accomplish their purpose. We created this vision for the organization, and the Lord blessed me with the ability to have the grit to overcome some of these things that were going on and to be transparent with the community and with my team. So that's what we did. October, November of 2022 was a rough month. But what I can say that when you're in times of trial, you can get through this. So if you're walking through a season right now that you feel like everything is closing around you, know that you're not the only one. Know that there are people that you can reach out to. Call a pastor, call a friend, do these things that I wish I would have, because you can make it through this. If I can do it, you surely can. So I want to encourage you, you can do this, and that's a little bit of a challenging time that I went through in 2022.